After Barcelona being knocked out of the Champions League, Xavi says Barcelona need to press the reset button, and you can't really disagree with that. And Fabrizio Romano joins the show to discuss the club's sentiment, what they're going to do in the future as they look to resuscitate themselves once again and hopefully become the giants they once were. But plenty of work, especially off the pitch, has to be done for Barcelona. Fabrizio Romano, Barcelona special. Qué Golazo begins right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Qué Golazo. Thank you so much for being part of the family. Don't forget, we are on Twitter, Qué Golazo Pod. Follow and subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/Qué Golazo. We're so close to 6,000. You have to stop asking me to get to 6,000. Let's get to 6,000 already, Fabrizio Romano. We're nearly there, buddy. How are you?
Here we go. It's close. We have to do it. I'm fine. Thank you. I'm happy to talk about Barcelona because we have to enter into this crazy situation. Never easy for Barcelona. Last year has been incredible, but it's going to be interesting to see what's next for Barcelona.
100%. Before we get into the nitty-gritty here, Fabrizio, just give me your thoughts overall just about Barcelona. For the first time since 2000 and 2001, don't make the knockout stages of the Champions League. In 2000 and 2001, it was AC Milan in that group and David O'Leary's Leeds United that came second, and Barcelona were third. What do you make of Barcelona losing to Bayern Munich and essentially not making it, not essentially, literally not making the knockout stages? What do you make of it?
Imagine I was 7 when it happened last time, so I don't even remember anything about it.
Sorry, you're so young. It really annoys.
It's not that I'm young. It's that it's shocking that in my life, Barcelona out of Champions League at group stages is something that I've never seen in my life.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, imagine Barcelona in the Europa League. It's something that I was never going to expect. Also because Barcelona has been the giants of the last 20 years in Europe, incredible team. And so to be in this kind of situation, I think the last year has been something incredible for Barcelona, as I was saying before. But I think this game with Bayern is telling us the complete difference, the big difference that we have between a club that is perfectly organized in everything, that have a fantastic board, doing a great job on long term, having players with contracts always saved. So everything is planned at Bayern Munich. And then Barcelona in the last year with Bartomeu, with his board, and then with the situation of Leo Messi. How many things happened at Barcelona in the last year? Only in the last year. And this is something that is helping us to see how the situation now is something to be rebuilt. It's not going to be easy because sometimes I think another big problem that Barcelona have before jumping on what we saw on the pitch, because on the pitch it was about the intensity, as Thomas Müller said, was completely different level. But at the same point, my feeling is also about other things that are happening around the club. Too many rumors, I think, around Barcelona. Every single day we have many stories, and we are happy on journalistic point of view, but I think this is another problem we have with Barcelona. One day it seems they are signing Raheem Sterling. The other one it seems Christian Pulisic. The other day it seems Ferran Torres. And then on the same point, they are not able to register one single signing at this point. So, I think they need to be clear with the communication, restart, as Xavi said yesterday, but in communication, on the pitch, on many different things, because as of now, Barcelona are in real trouble and they need to restart this project.
A really, really good point. The PR management side of things, needs to get in order. Well, listen, here's the other thing, obviously something you know about and everybody should know. Winning a game in the Champions League is good money for a club. Making it to the knockout stages is substantial money for a club. How costly is the elimination of the Champions League for Barcelona right now here, Fabrizio? How much is it going to cost? And also, will it need even more cost-cutting measures? Does Barcelona need to look somewhere else now? Well, we didn't make it to the knockout stages. We have to really trim down our value and where we're spending too much money. Just how much financially has it cost for them not making the knockout stages?
Yes, we're around 35-40 million euro just for the knockout stages. And then you have potential money if you go to the quarterfinals or semifinals, of course. So you're losing a lot of money. But this 40 million for a club like Barcelona in this moment, in this financial situation, are something so important. And so missing on Champions League knockout stages is something that is a disaster on financial point of view and, of course, on technical point of view, because, as we mentioned before, we can't see Champions League without Barcelona. So it's something that's absolutely out of words. But also on financial side, it's a problem, because I still remember that when they presented Dani Alves, the sport director Matteo Alemani said in public, we need to sell players to register new signings. So at the moment, we need to work on we are on it, but we need to work on this situation. And also losing this money right now is going to be a problem for Barcelona. This is the expectation around the club. They will need to be creative in January, because Xavi needs new signings. He wants new signings, but they will have to be creative because they are losing this money. And also, at the same point, it's not going to be easy to convince players, okay, you're always Barcelona, you have the badge, the history, everything is fantastic. But at the same point, you're not playing Champions League in January this season. And then at the end of the season, we have to see where Barcelona will be. Because at the moment, also the situation in La Liga, the table of La Liga, is not so good for Barcelona. So we expect them to be back at top level, of course. But as of now, it's not so easy to manage this kind of situation. So this is why it's about the strategy, I think, for the future. They need to be clear and go on one direction, telling people the truth on what's happening.
Yeah, let's go back to that point that you said about Xavi needing to do some movements here in January, exits, incomings. I mean, I'm looking at the lineup against Bayern Munich, and obviously Memphis Depay, Ousmane Dembélé, Busquets, Frankie de Jong, Gavi, Jordi Alba. Lenglet has now been a little bit more favored for Xavi alongside PK, Araujo. But then you look at their bench, and it's, you know, a lot of influence from their academy graduates, of course. Yusuf Demir, Ricky Puig even got some minutes. Where is Xavi looking? Is it everywhere? Because it can't be everywhere. They can't afford everywhere. But where do you think they're focusing the most?
No, they have a focus on the strikers. So maybe it could be a winger like Ferran Torres, who could play also as number 9 sometimes to help, as he did with the Spanish national team. He's the dream, but as we always say here, they want 65 million from Manchester City. So it's not going to be an easy negotiation. Or Barca will be creative and they will find a way, maybe selling some players, or it's going to be complicated in January, because the player is true, the player wants to join Barcelona. He will be open to join Barca. He's fascinated by the opportunity to work under Xavi. So it's true that Ferran Torres will be open to his move, but they need to pay. And so let's see how it will end up in the coming weeks. They're looking for strikers because, okay, as you mentioned, the lineup was this one. Well, we have to remember that they lost Pedri because of the injury, and also the same of Ansu Fati. So they had many problems this season with injuries. They are not at top level yet. They had the situation of Sergio Aguero to be clarified in the next weeks. So many things happened with the strikers, and so I expect Barcelona to do something in this position. We will see if it will be a number 9 or a winger. This will be decided in the coming weeks. I think they will try to do something also for a centre-back. Let's see if it will be January, but they are looking for a new centre-back for the next season. And so maybe they will try to anticipate in January if they will be able on financial point to do it. But centre-back and strikers are the position where Barcelona want to do something important in the coming months. And I expect them to take decisions also about midfielders, because we always have rumors about Frankie de Jong, but by player side and also Xavi side in public, they say that he's untouchable. But I see Barcelona doing something in the midfield. I don't know if it will be January, because as we said, financial situation is difficult, so they will need to decide. They can sign 5 or 6 players in January. But long term, for next summer, midfield will be another position where they are looking for.
All right. Well, arrivals is what we're discussing here with Fabrizio Romano, but obviously the other question is departures. Do you see players from the current squad leaving? I mean, I'm looking at Luke de Jong, who's not really a Xavi kind of player. And, you know, we've heard some rumors about even Dembélé, although Laporta did say he's better than Kylian Mbappé. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Any departures in January that you feel will be imminent?
I will keep an eye on Felipe Coutinho, as always, for Barcelona, because they're trying since a long time to find a solution for him, and they hope in January to be able to sell him and to save his salary, because his salary is so big, and also salaries are always a huge problem for Barcelona. They need to clarify on this point and to change on this point, as many clubs are doing around Europe. Salaries have to change for Barca, and so Felipe Coutinho is one of these players. As you mentioned, Luke de Jong is not a player for Xavi. He was for Ronald Koeman, and so I expect them to try to find a solution for Luke de Jong. We see what happens also with centre-backs, because we have the situation of Umtiti, that he's never playing, and so let's see if Barcelona also in this case will be able to find a solution. At the moment, there are no advanced talks yet. We had a lot of rumors also for Coutinho to Newcastle and this kind of rumors, but Barcelona have not received any official proposal or have not opened any talk in this sense. But I'm sure that if they will receive proposals for these players, Luke de Jong, Umtiti, Coutinho, I would mention also other players that now maybe are not untouchable. But if they receive a proposal, for example, Clement Lenglet, as you mentioned, now he seems to be more important than players like Piqué or Eric Garcia in the lineup for Xavi. But if they receive a proposal, Barcelona are open to hear anything to find a solution, because they need to sell players if they want to sign new ones. And this is why the situation is really complicated. And we have always to remember, as we always say here on Qué Golazo, that January transfer window is complicated. It's about the opportunity. Clubs are looking for loan with buy option. They are not buying your players, and they know that Barcelona need to sell. And so it's not going to be easy also for Barcelona to have the power in the negotiation to say, no, I don't want to give this player on loan, because to save the salary maybe is the only solution. And so it's going to be a very complicated mercato transfer market for Barcelona, also about the salaries and about the loan deals, because many clubs will propose them loan deals.
Yeah, Fab, our USMNT audience, I guess, would be keen to know what happens with Sergino Dest. Do you see, he did start in this game. He was totally, obviously, overwhelmed, I think. Not mostly his fault. Obviously, it's Bayern Munich. They're so good. But do you see him sticking around? Xavi likes him?
From what I'm told, last summer he had the opportunity to go to many clubs, because there was Bayern, there were also Inter and AC Milan asking for him. So he had many proposals, but Barcelona always said from the board, and not just from Ronald Koeman, but from the board, he's untouchable. We want to trust him. We see him as a player for the future. So as of now, the situation is still with Barcelona trusting him. But as I told you, the situation on financial point of view is complicated. So I'm sure if they receive a proposal for big money, they will consider these proposals also for Sergino Dest. So it's not just about the quality of the player, because they like him, but they need money. And so for all players, Barcelona will consider proposals, if are not key players like, of course, De Jong and this kind of top players the Barca need.
Yeah, that was my last question here with Fabrizio Romano that you brought in. A good segue there, Fab, because, thinking of January, very complicated. With Barcelona, is there a case here that unless they get rid of players, whether that's a sale or a loan, they can't bring anybody else in? Is that right? Or,
yes.
Or that's right. That's
right. That's right. Yes. But I can confirm this. And this is what also the sport director, Matteo Alemani, said. They need to do something on this point, because as of now, they are not able to register any single player. And they can do it with Dani Alves in January. So another spot will be for Dani Alves. And so they need to sell player or offload players. This is the only way for Barcelona. They are on it. It's fair to say that, okay, it's a complicated situation, but they are working on it day by day. Let's see what they will be able to do. As I said, it won't be easy, but this is the only way for Barcelona to have new signings.
Yeah, and if Xavi's saying we need to start from zero, I am imagining a lot of hopeful action where if players come in, a few players need to come out. Fabrizio Romano, always on it, always happy to have him. Don't forget to read his content on CBS Sports. Of course, follow him on Twitter, Fabrizio Romano, and Instagram as well. Not many know. You also keep us updated on Instagram as well. People need to remember that one on the Insta stories. But Fabrizio, very happy to have you here. Anything else that you're focusing on before we say goodbye, my friend?
I'm working today on Karim Adeyemi, a striker of Salzburg. I love this player. I think together with Vlahovic, you know that Vlahovic is my favorite, but together with Vlahovic, they are the two big names that we have now in Europe talking about young talents and young strikers. And I'm told that Borussia Dortmund are leading the race for him. He was also in the list of Barcelona, and he is in the list of Barcelona. They sent their scouts many times to watch this boy. They had a meeting with his agents. So it's true that Barcelona have an interest in Adeyemi, but of course, Salzburg want big money, and so we are always on the same point for Barcelona. Borussia Dortmund for next summer, not for January, but for next summer, they already had another meeting with his agent, and they are leading the race for Karim Adeyemi. So if they're going to lose Erling Haaland, and there is a possibility, as we know, he has the release clause next summer, Karim Adeyemi will be the first name for Borussia Dortmund.
Interesting indeed. And of course, you will see Adeyemi in the Champions League knockout stages as well. So that's good. Fabrizio Romano, thank you so much for being part of the show, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. See you very soon, as always. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Make sure to follow us on Qué Golazo Pod on Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your pods. Leave a rating and review. It's the best way to grow the show. YouTube.com/Qué Golazo. 6,000, 6,000. Come on, help us out. We will see you next time. Have a great beginning to your weekend, end of your week. We'll see you next time.